All right, welcome back to episode 11 of the Off the Bench podcast. We are back. We're doing a few different segments today. We're starting off with the NBA, but we are starting with Aiden's hate of Pascal Siakam. He reckons, he just told me that he would name 40 players better than Pascal. And as an inside word, he has made a full-on table about this.
Yep.
I don't think it's true. He reckons he's going to name 40 players better than him, so we'll have a look at that. Before we go to a playoff round 2 update, looking into how non-Boston Celtics have been shot in the ankle, having a look at our caps.
That was a bit of a... Instead of doing these dudes is, hey.
Tough time, dude. You have SGA lose his Achilles and see how you feel, Nick.
Fair point. Fair point.
A 26-year-old star losing an Achilles might never come back the same.
Yeah, okay, fair point.
We're going to touch on the draft lottery that was done yesterday. Before we head over to the NFL, we're doing two more divisions, there's the conferences of the over-unders, where we're looking at the NFC East.
Just on the web that was done yesterday before we head over.
We're doing the NFC East and the NFC North, and then we're going to talk about UFC 315. Did I miss anything?
No, don't
See how we've got everything. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so this first segment we're going to talk about is my hate for Pascal Siakam. So a few episodes ago, I think it was like episode 5, we were talking about our overrated, underrated.
And you pointed at the screen.
And I said, Pascal sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since then, every single time the Pacers have played, if Pascal has a bad game, I'm about to get a message.
Yeah.
I'm about to get a message about how bad Pascal is.
Yeah.
If he has a good game, he's quiet.
He hasn't really had a big game. But anyway, so I've compiled a list of players that I think are better. For this segment, we're going to say that these players are healthy because I feel like that's the fair way to judge one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna go from there. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna name the players.
Yeah.
You're gonna say yes, like they're better. You can say no, or if you're a bit unsure, we can leave that one and we can come back to it at the end.
Okay. And how are we going to keep track?
How are we gonna keep track?
Yeah.
I made the table. So the players that you think are better, you agree with me are better. I'm gonna put an X. The players that you think are worse, I'll put O, and then I'll leave blank the ones that we'll come back to.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start off with Bam.
You're starting with Bam?
I did it alphabetically because I went on the NBA app, players, and they have them in like last name alphabet.
Oh,
so it's from A to Z.
I was expecting you to come out with bronze stuff, maybe an easy first 15 to 20, where I was like, nah. And you start with Bam.
No. Alphabetic.
Come back.
Come back?
Come back to Bam, because he hasn't had a very good year.
All right. Jared Allen.
Man, I might be starting with 2 people that I would be like, come back against.
All right. Come back?
Come back to Jarrett, yeah.
All right. Giannis.
Oh, nah. Yeah.
OG.
OG and Nobi. OG is like the third option on his team.
Statistically, but...
I actually don't know if he would have better statistics. I wouldn't be sure. I'm going to let him have it. Yeah, I'll give him OG.
Yeah?
Maybe, yeah. We might come back to him, but I reckon for now, yeah.
LaMelo Ball.
Stats-wise, yeah, but... I'll give you LaMelo.
Paolo.
Yeah, obviously.
Desmond Bain.
No.
Scotty Barnes.
No. I got the finger over the X. Every time you're expecting an X. Every time has.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, I'll give you Devin.
Mikal Bridges.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he hasn't had a great year. If OG is borderline, not Mikal.
Okay, Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
See, that's one you would probably say no to.
No, Jalen Brunson's 100.
Oh, but he's pretty good.
Right, he's still better than that. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy. I'll give you Jimmy, yeah.
Cade.
Cade Cunningham, yeah, this year.
Steph.
Yeah, obviously.
Luka.
With or without hamstrings, that's better. Luka?
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan.
See, Obviously, like when I think of DeMar, I always think of Toronto DeMar, but he's just not anymore.
But
Maybe.
he's still better, right?
Maybe it will come back.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Come back.
Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
Jalen Duren,
No.
Anthony Edwards,
Yeah.
Darius Garland,
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
Look, I'm gonna say yeah, but the injuries have really pissed me off.
Josh Giddey.
Nah.
This season?
Nah.
No?
I'm sorry, Josh, but
Okay.
you're not better than Pascal.
SGA.
Just.
Rudy Gobert.
Come back to him.
Okay. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. Obviously, because he's the number one option.
Draymond Green.
Come back to Draymond.
Okay.
Draymond plays such a weird role. It's like, well,
He does.
like, yeah.
My argument for Draymond was that statistically, Pascal's better, but
And if I was building a team, I'd probably take Pascal before I'd take Draymond.
impact-wise, and
That's why I said like his role is so different.
yeah. We'll come back with Aaron Gordon.
This playoffs was nah,
No?
not taking Aaron Gordon over.
James Harden.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero.
yeah,
Chet.
Yeah.
Jokic.
obviously.
Braun.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram.
Nah.
Zach Levine.
It's funny because at the start I wouldn't say no to these type of guys as well. So people watching are probably thinking, does he think this person's better than Levine or this? It's like, no, it's become more decisive the longer we've gone on.
No, you gotta be honest with it, bro. Like,
No, I mean like the ones I've been like, oh, I don't know yet.
yeah.
The longer we've gone on, the more I've just been like, actually just fuck it. I'm not bothered to come back to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
Dane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give him.
Ja.
Yes.
Mobley.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
Jamal Murray.
Yes.
So you think Jamal Murray is better, but not Aaron Gordon?
Jamal Murray is better than Aaron Gordon.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Gordon's better than Murray.
You can add into the no list if you'd like.
No, I'm saying like Aaron Gordon.
You want Aaron Gordon via
Yeah, for me, Aaron Gordon is like an easy yeah. Same with Jalen Durham. He's an easy yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be like that with Durham, but you're also a Pistons fucking suck off. So
I am, but
no, look, I don't think Aaron Gordon's better than Jamal Murray. I give Jamal Murray his respect.
okay. I'm not saying Jamal's like shit, but I think Aaron Gordon's better. I think that's what we were saying. Anyways,
But Siakam's in the conversation with these guys. This is more of a preference when it came to Aaron Gordon.
okay, all right. Julius Randle,
Yeah, I'll give you Randall.
Sabonis,
Yeah,
Jason Tatum,
obviously.
Şengün,
Yes.
Cat,
Yes.
Miles Turner.
No,
Really?
I don't think so. Because Siakam is the second option on that team.
But Miles Turner is
Miles Turner's so good.
100% valid.
But if I was even naming a player, I'd be like 2A, 2B. I'll give Siakam his respect, yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
I'll give him Siakam. But you're also a hater, so like your take doesn't affect me.
I am, but I will still say that Pascal's the third best player on that team.
I will give him respect.
I think it's
When I think of
Firm.
paces, I think Siakam's the second best. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay.
And I've watched in this playoffs, and I think he's been playing quite well.
But Miles Turner's been probably the best player for the
Turner's been great, yeah, but I still think Siakam's second option. But it's a team that's full of second options.
Okay.
Like, none of that team is like, oh, he's an out-and-out first. Like, even Halliburton goes out there, but he doesn't go out there to be a first option.
That's what I think this year, or this playoff run, Miles Turner has been their best player.
Yeah, I don't know. He can be the best player during the playoffs run. I still think Siakam's a better player.
Okay.
Like, he can have a better stretch, but...
No, but Miles Turner's been doing it all year.
All right, I'll give Siakam respect.
Wemby.
Yeah.
I have both Thompson twins, Ahmed and Asar. The reason I did both and not just one of them is because they're basically the same player.
Yeah.
Like, and other than Men clears him, and in that respect, I kind of have to say that Sar clears him because they're like identical, like with a drill.
See, I was gonna say it's really close, but I was gonna get Siakam a nod
over both of them.
for now. But this could change in like a year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But for now, it's like, yeah, because they both are out there being really good defenders. They just needed a little bit better offensive power. If they get a little bit better on the offensive end next year, or they play how they're meant to, you know how they get a little bit better every year.
Pretty sure they were putting up numbers though. Like a man averaged 14 in the regular season.
Yeah.
And Pascal averaged barely 20.
That's a big difference.
No,
One guy's averaging 20 and one guy's averaging 14. Yeah, but that's a lot.
Ottoman's far and away a better defender, rebounder, and playmaker.
Yeah, but I'm saying for now, he's not better. If he can get a little bit, if he can get a little bit better on the offensive end, I'm saying I would give them the nod, both of them. But they're just that little bit away still. They need a little bit more development. You know what I mean?
All right, Kogi what?
Oof. Yeah, just.
Derek what?
It's a hard one.
So you're saying this is a hard one, but Miles Turner was a no straight away.
I was going to say no to Derek White too, but then I was like, he did play for the USA team. I'll say maybe. Come back to it.
Okay. Zubac.
No, I don't think so. He was all NBA third team,
God damn.
but I don't think he's a better player than Siakam.
Okay. Zion.
What's the saying is like, a guy can have a really good year, but like, if we're just going straight off this year's formed, well, then it's like a power ranking. This is personal preference too. Like, I'm not making this like a power ranking where it's like, oh, we're just doing this year only. Like, I'm taking into account their history as well, how good they were. I'm taking into account their like last 3 years or so, not too far away.
Last 3 years.
Like, Zubac is good, but like, I wouldn't say he's better than Siakam.
3 years, and you still take the Miles Turner as a no.
Look,
And
I told you I'd become more decisive.
And you're taking Zubac as a no.
Taking Zubac as a no. I'm taking that with the chest. Pascal's better, I think, as a player.
All right, Zion.
Yeah, you'd have to say yeah. But
Zion Williams.
yeah, because I know you're going to throw this mic at me.
All right. Now let's go through the Maggies, all right?
Can you actually tell me how many we've gotten?
Well, hold on. Let's
Or do you want to do all the maybes first?
3, 2.
Well,
Yeah, 3. There's 3 that we haven't done yet because they come back to us.
Oh, yeah.
Bam.
I thought it was more than 3.
No, it's 3.
Ben's a toughie. Because I don't even think Ben's... If I had like a tier of players and we did like tiers, I would have like Siakam, I would have Turner, and I would have Bam pretty much on the same tier.
Yeah.
I'm really left picking like this much between them.
Yeah.
Like it's not a lot between them.
Listen, I might overrated this. I think I had Pascal and I had Bam up 2.
Look, you had Pascal, but that was hate also. That wasn't the same. I'm gonna say yeah, he's better than Bam.
And
So Bam's worse.
Ben's worse.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Just off the past couple of years.
Jared Allen.
Look at you over the X. Jared Allen's.
Listen, personally, I think both of these guys clear him and it's not close. And I think Jared Allen is like pretty overrated as well.
So it's hard because I think Jared Allen's a little bit overrated because he's with Mobley.
Yeah.
Mobley's so good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say no, he's not as good as Siakam, no. I think you need to give Siakam his respect, man. We're so against you.
DeMar DeRozan.
I'll give DeMar the nod, yeah.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
And then there was Derek White.
Oh yeah, I'll put next thing.
That's what I mean, us. What did that? Give him an X.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
As a Celtics fan, yeah, I'd rather have Derek White than Siakam, sure. I'll give you the X.
Oh, and Rudy Gobert.
Is this Rudy Gobert Game 5 versus the Lakers, or?
That comes into it, Bergie.
No. I'll let you decide, Rudy.
Yes. Oh, and Draymond, sorry. And Draymond.
See, that's such a toughie. Because if I said yes to Rudy, I kind of got to say yes to Draymond. Let's go off impact, Draymond, because he does impact that team's winning so much.
Okay, so there are 13 players.
How many did you have?
there are 13 players
Here we go.
that you said are better. No, worse. Sorry. 13 players that you said are worse than Pascal Siakam.
Let me get shaped like 60 in.
I put 60 in there, which ranks him 47.
Pretty good assumption, but yeah, that's pretty good. And I reckon he could have been anywhere between 43 and 52, I reckon. Plus or minus 5.
I mean, there's a few in there that are biased. Like I threw some in there that I think Pascal's better than. I think Pascal's better than Desmond Bain, right? I think,
Absolutely not.
and I think Desmond Bain's terrible. Same with Jared Allen. But then there were some that like Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner is the second best player on that team. I said that before.
I think.
Same with the Thompson twins, but
Or did you count the Thompson twins as what?
those two.
That's two.
Yeah, two different people, bro.
Should be like Thompson twins, and then you started saying how you count them as one. So
Like, well, you know, besides statistically, they're very similar.
like, yeah, I'm meant to know. Okay, yeah, fair. Look, I wasn't even that against saying around that 40 mark. I did agree with you when you went around 40.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
It's when you first said he's not top 50, I was like, I can't imagine him not being a top 50 player right now. But he's
There we
pretty
go.
close, actually.
Free play.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have been anywhere between like 43 and 52 just then. Where like there was a couple that could go either way.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. I'm happy.
You're happy that you proved it? I proved you a point.
This shit, you're right. You suck, Pascal. I'm gonna tag him in the comments.
At least he didn't miss 2 free throws that lost him a game. Chet.
Chad, I love you.
Shocker.
All
All right.
right.
Into playoffs. Into the round 2 of the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start with this one because I just want to get it over and done with.
Yep.
Boston Knicks.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to read you exactly what I have written here because I wrote this before the end yesterday.
Okay.
I said, I didn't think we would start the series 0-2, but since then I'm positive and believe we will win this series. I am not worried. Let me just say that changed.
Oh, man, 4 hours later, how do you feel?
I'm not worried anymore because I've accepted the fate that we're done.
Yeah.
Without Tatum, we're done. Like you can't lose your best player and still be good enough to win a series, especially a team where the Knicks were built to beat us.
100%.
Like they were built to line up 1-on-1 against us.
100%.
So, yeah, and honestly, do I think we underestimated him before he got injured? Yes. I think we thought we were going to win that series no matter what.
Yeah.
So, do we deserve to lose? Probably.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, we didn't play very good.
Yeah.
We should have been up 3-0. Like, we shouldn't have blown those 2 20-point games.
Oh, no.
So we should have been up 3-0 and honestly maybe even swept them. And we blew at least those first 2 and then Tatum got injured and that's about it really.
Yeah.
So that's me done with them.
Yeah.
As I said, like you be coming in here upset as if SGA was done.
Yeah.
Especially an Achilles tear. Like it's so heartbreaking to be like, oh, he might not come back the same.
No, he won't.
Which is so especially like in such an explosive sport.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, I've got a few points. Right. So we can both agree that this was gonna be the last season that this current Boston team was together, right?
Yeah, it's been set out loud. Both Sheens and everyone.
Yeah, because of money stuff, it wasn't
Such an explosive team, especially when you paid Jalen and Jason.
Yeah. So this was always going to be their last playoff run together. I've heard a few different things about a few different people on that team, right? But if it is Achilles, like again, nothing's really been proper confirmed yet.
Yeah.
But if it is Achilles, which everyone seems to think it is,
They've looked at it as well.
Yeah. Then Tatum's probably out a full calendar year, so he's going to miss all the next season as well. You guys probably won't end up making the playoffs. Or you might, just because the Eastern...
It depends who we get rid of.
Well, the thing is, right, I think Porzingis is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I think out of those guys to get rid of, I think he's the one that's...
And look, we've played without him a lot, so it's like, you know what?
Apparently, his illness is AIDS. I've heard that a couple of times. Apparently it is. So I reckon he's gone. He's like the odd one out of that starting lineup anyway, right?
It is with so much time anyway.
Exactly.
We went through a whole playoff run last year without him almost.
Yes. I'll be honest, I reckon you trade Drew as well. But I've also and this is like a little bit of a, a little sprinkle. Just before we move on to the other games, a bird that maybe Jaylen Brown could
Jaylen Brown's on the move, yeah.
because his knee is apparently degenerative, and he's got early stage arthritis, which is like the same. It's like the same shit that Kawhi has. It's the same thing that Kemba Walker had, and then he ended up retiring a year later. Granted, Kemba Walker was also older, but it's the same condition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to get rid of Jaylen Brown because we can't get rid of Tatum.
No.
Like, it's stuffed up.
Yeah.
Get rid of a guy straight after he tears the Achilles. Like, come on, man.
No, you're
But
not going to get rid of Tatum. But I've heard so many different things about pretty much every other player on that roster that I think there's a good chance you guys trade a few of them away, kind of rebuild next year, try and get a good draft pick, and then come back with Tatum, you know what I mean? And give him that full year of rest and recovery. But yeah, still a shocking blow. But on the flip side, the Knicks have looked really good. Rafael Bridges especially is quite huge.
Well, the Knicks have looked good. They're going to play in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think, against the Pacers.
100% against the Pacers, especially if Donovan Mitchell is out.
And it's a tough series again. I know who I'm going to pick, but I think I'll wait until the series are both over because that could change depending how they finish each series too.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, but moving to the Pacers, Cavs. Look, it's a good series. I think it's a good series to watch more so than anything else.
It is. It's been a fun
series to watch. I didn't think it'd be 3-1 Pacers.
Me neither.
But man, do they look good.
They do.
I wouldn't be shocked if they win today.
No.
I think it'll be done in 6, but I think Cavs will come out, rally one more game.
I think it depends. I don't know if Donovan's meant to play today or not. I think
that is true.
I think that plays a big role.
That is true for about
a few of their guys are getting injuries, so Donovan's out.
Damn it, sorry, but yeah, I did forget about that. But I assumed if Donovan's playing, I think Cavs will win this one, lose in 6. That's what I reckon. Yep. But Pacers looked amazing. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Warriors, Wolves. Honestly, there's not much to talk about because it's like, well, without Steph, what do you expect? Like, this series doesn't have any hype without Steph because it's like, oh, you expect the Warriors to lose.
Yeah. The Timberwolves have looked really good. Randall and Ant have been playing really well.
Ant's been playing good.
But it's like the Warriors side, there hasn't really been
no bucket getter. There's no one to just be like, lay down the stretch, go get a bucket for us because there's just not.
I mean, this is kind of showing that Jimmy's not really that guy anymore.
Yeah, he's a bit older.
Yeah. Like, he's a bit more, I don't want to say a role player, but he's more of a complimentary guy, than the guy.
Well, what it shows as well is how the Warriors struggle without Steph's pull. Even if Steph's not scoring points, just him being out there changes the game. Yeah. Because blokes are like, no, I don't care if he's 0 from 5. We're still double teaming that guy.
Yeah.
We're still going to pick and roll onto him. Yep. We don't want anything to do with him.
No, it's like a respect thing. It's like, all right, they know he's out there, so he commands so much attention.
Yeah.
And he's having to pull again.
So when teams are going, oh, he's not out there, we can play this like everybody else.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
When guys aren't tired because they're picking a guy up from the other side of half court every possession, it does change this series, and I think it's sad that he's lost. But I know I've seen a lot of media where people are talking about the Wolves like Steph's playing. And I'm like, God, like they're talking about like Wolves are great against the Warriors. And I'm like, yeah, but
I mean, to be fair, they do though. Like,
yeah, but like
Steph being out there doesn't change much.
What it would change
offense, like it's the Wolves offense.
What it changes for me though is how they look defensively and then how they look under pressure. Because there hasn't been much pressure without Steph because they've been winning.
Yeah. But they're also just
like they're up 3-0 against them without Steph.
3-1.
No, saying without Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Steph technically played the first game.
I don't even know if I count that in.
He played, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
But, look, I think if the Warriors can get to Game 6, they still lose. Even if they get there. But, yeah, Wolves are going to move on. They're going to play the winner of Nuggets Thunder.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to go 7.
I think today is huge. I think whoever wins today's game ends up winning the series.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. It's tied 2-2. It's essentially a best of 3 series now, right? And it's Thunder home game today. Obviously, as a Thunder fan, I want us to win it, but I also came after the other day we have all the momentum, right? It was a close game. They were up 14. We came back and won.
What I will say though is, you guys looked unbeatable before this. The Nuggets have shown that you guys are beatable.
I think the Nuggets as well are just
They're a hard team, yeah. But like they're just showing that you guys have struggled a little bit down the stretch. Not really in the last game, but like before that, where even when I was watching, I was like, this doesn't look like the Thunder.
No,
How I'm used to watching you guys.
because we were blowing everyone out in the regular season. Really?
No, but even like, yeah, like you were blowing people out, but every single time the games were close, you guys were just like, oh, bam, bam, bang. And for the first time, it didn't look as fluid under pressure, but I still think you're the team to beat right now, especially with Boston out of it.
Yeah.
Crowd's probably out of it. I think you guys are definitely the team to beat still.
Listen, I said this from the start of the playoffs. Obviously injuries kind of
Play a role.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that with the way the bracket was set out, that if we ended up versing Denver, that was going to be the hardest team we were going to play. I think if we can get past Denver, then I think we win the chip.
Yeah, okay.
But then alternatively, I think if Denver ends up beating us, I think they're going to win another one. I think.
See, I reckon that's a hard matchup for Denver though.
I don't know about that, bro.
Look at them last year.
Yeah.
Similar teams.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, that like watching the Nuggets, they're very cohesive and they're all very locked in, like all of them.
I do think also the Wolves are a tough matchup though to the Nuggets.
They are a tough matchup, but I would still take Denver.
I reckon I'd take the Wolves in that series, whereas I'd take the Thunder over the Wolves probably.
Well,
Decide. Yeah, it depends how that goes.
We'll wait and see how it goes.
But moving on, we did say we're going to talk about draft lottery. We'll touch on it quickly.
Yeah.
Look, Dallas ended up getting the first pick. What I think is more crazy is the fact that Spurs are another top pick.
Well, Spurs aren't going to be picking that though.
Are they?
No.
You don't reckon?
No. That's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks number 2 pick. Giannis is a 7 to Spurs.
Maybe.
100% he is.
But I don't know. They might. You got Wemby, you got Stephon Castle.
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Do you just take the kid there, keep building your team?
No.
You reckon they get rid of it all?
100%. Number 2 pick, without question, is going to be Dylan Harper, he's like another combo guy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that if you're the Spurs. And if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, for a Giannis package, just by the way, if anyone doesn't notice, Giannis said that he's open to the idea of leaving. To be honest, I think that's just a more subtle way of saying that he wants a trade, so then he doesn't cough in.
I think he's just too much of a nice guy as well.
I think
he doesn't want to be rude.
I think it was just worded that way, so he's a company backlash.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the Bucks, right, you have no draft picks until 2031. Dame is 36, and he's out for over a year.
Yep.
And Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis,
Mm-hmm.
Gary Trent, Kevin Porter, pretty much your entire team outside of Kyle Kuzma and Giannis is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what do you want, right? You want young guys?
Yep.
You want draft picks?
Mm-hmm.
And God, that's probably it if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Right now, the Spurs, they can.
You want a future.
You want a future. Right now, the Spurs can give them picks 2, 14, and Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and maybe Devin Vassell. All of a sudden, the Bucks look a lot better, and future picks. And
that's how
the Bucks look a lot better. They've got some young guys. They've got draft picks, and I think Giannis and Wemby look really good together. And then you also throw in Castle, you throw in Fox, maybe you re-sign Chris Paul to bring off the bench, keep Harrison Barnes, and I think that's a top 2 team in the West.
Yeah.
I think it makes too much sense for both teams.
I could also see the Rockets making a trade for it.
I could have seen that.
I reckon
Before yesterday.
I still reckon the Rockets might throw a hat in the ring, and it could go either way.
They could, but they don't have the best package anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be hard because I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets get him either with the Şengün type of trade.
See, I
was looking at I was watching First Things First yesterday. Well, one of the trade ideas they had.
Is this the This is Shay one. Bro, I saw that.
Straight swap. SGA, Giannis.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And I was like, mate, I don't think so.
No.
Because I also don't think that you guys, like, why? Like, you've got Chet and you've got, what's his name?
J-Lo.
Yeah, but
Jalen Williams.
yeah, you've got us. Also, what's his name?
Hartenstein.
Yes, Hartenstein. So, like, you don't, like, training SGA, you're just giving away a bucket getter guard
Yeah.
for another big man,
Yeah.
essentially. Like,
Hypothetically, if we were to get Giannis, Chef or Hartenstein would be in that trade.
yeah, but their trade was just SGA.
Yeah.
Just a straight.
It was terrible.
Just-
I didn't watch it, but I saw a screenshot on it. I'm like, what is this?
That was one of the worst ones, yeah. I didn't like that. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, if I had a bet, I would say San Antonio.
Yeah.
I-
I'm still sticking with, I reckon the Rockets will throw their hat in the ring, though.
They'll put an offer out there, but
And I reckon it'll be
they
severely thought about.
don't have the best package anymore.
Mm.
And then Philly got number 3.
Yeah, look. Good for them. Who are they going to take it through?
I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to keep it either.
You reckon they're going to trade it?
Yeah.
Who do they get rid of?
They attach it to a Paul George.
Mm.
They've already said they find it open and moving on. They attach it to a
Mm.
Paul George and they try and get some depth. They've got no depth.
I would like to see them. And this is like a thing that you have with Pascal, but I have with Embiid. I'd like to see him get rid of Embiid. Like, I know it's such a hard decision, but he's just injured too.
No, I'd like to see that as well. I don't think it'll happen, but I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see him get rid of him.
I mean,
He's given him enough time.
yeah.
Or they've given him enough time where it's like, look, we gave you you got the MVP, everything, you still can't get out of the second round.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them get rid of him, but yeah, they might get rid of it. I'd honestly like to see like a Wizards or a Hornets be good.
I want
one of them to get like a good player so they can be good.
one of those teams to trade up,
Mm.
right? Like the Wizards, the Hornets, and the Jazz were all tied for the best odds with the first pick, and they got 4, 5, and 6, right?
Hurts, eh?
I want one of them to try and make a push. No one's going to get one from Dallas, right? That's
Because
not,
Dallas ain't giving it.
that's not happening.
Even though Nico is a chance,
Yeah.
you
never know.
you throw out like Jordan Poole and Nico might be like, oh, that's a good one. I've seen Jordan Poole win the championship.
I would, I'd like to see one of them make a push for 3 maybe from Philly, because I don't think the other 2 are going anywhere. I think the Spurs will keep it if they don't trade it for Giannis,
Mm.
and then I don't think the Mavs are sending theirs anywhere. So
No, Mavs, it would be absolutely stupid if they did.
it would be crazy. It would be crazy.
But we're going to move on. NFL?
Yeah. Mock draft next week as well.
Yes, we
I didn't get last week about that. So mock draft next week.
Yes, we will do a mock draft. We just need time to actually have a think about it.
Yeah.
Where we brought that up last night, so we're going to do that next week. But for now, we're going to get into our next segment, the NFL segment. Still doing our over-unders. This is before this schedule has been released, so this is more of a whim than anything.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with the NFC East.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the defending champions of the Super Bowl. Oh, this light. With the Eagles. An
Yep.
over-under of 11.5 wins.
Over.
Hmm.
Over. I can't remember if I've seen them make any moves or not. I'm pretty sure they've got the same teams.
Similar, they've lost a couple, but they've also drafted pretty well for what they've lost.
Oh, was it over 11?
Yeah, 11.5. So I have them getting 12.
Yeah, I'd take
And
that.
I wouldn't be shocked with 13.
No,
But it is close, actually. So yeah, I'd say over 11.5 for the Eagles. Moving into the Washington Commanders, over under 10.5.
over. I think Jaden Daniels is just that good.
Yeah. I said under,
Yeah.
but my under was 10 wins. And that was because they had an insane year last year. And I thought of them quite similar to the Texans.
Yeah.
Where the Texans had a massive rookie year with CJ and they weren't horrible, but just stepped it back a tiny bit because teams were like, oh, we're going to take this guy seriously now.
Yeah.
And not that they didn't take him seriously, but there would have been that he's a rookie type of vibe last year. And this year, I think teams are about, no, he's proper. Like, we're going to go at him.
Yeah.
And so I think I could see 10 wins, 9-10 wins, still make the playoffs type thing.
Okay. I'll take the over on that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Close one.
Yeah.
Cowboys over under 8.5. They got 7 last year.
Yep.
Yeah, 7.
And they've made a few moves too. They got George Kiffins the other day, which is a good pick up.
Could be good or bad, depending how attitude goes.
Yeah, true.
But Dak should be back.
7.5.
8.5.
8.5.
So Dak should be back. They had 7 wins last year, and that was without Dak for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Micah should be back. They were missing him at parts of last year. I said over. I said they're going to get 9.
Yeah.
They had a couple of nice pickups. You know, you're going to have Micah back. You're going to have Dak back. I'm saying 9 wins.
Yeah,
They're a 9-win team.
I'll go over on for that one as well.
Like, I think they're better than 7. 2 years ago, they had like 12 or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, got to remember who they are.
Yeah.
Giants over under 5.5.
Under.
Jackson Dart, look, I hope you go well,
But
it's going to be an under for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking 3 or 4 wins again. Move into the NFC North.
yeah.
Got the Lions over under 10.5.
Have they made any moves? I haven't seen anything about it.
Not really, no.
I'll go over. They got 15 last year.
Yeah.
I'll go over. If they've got pretty much the same team, I doubt they're going to drop a whole lot. Unless everyone else is just that much better.
I said 12 to 13 wins.
Yeah.
I did. I think they're that good. I don't know. I was giving them the respect. I loved watching them last year. They're one of my favourite teams.
They were really good.
That was so good to watch. But we're moving on to another team in their division, the Vikings, who had a lot of wins last year. They had 14 last year. This year, their over-under is 8.5.
Same, I'll go over again.
I said over because I was like, they won 14 last year and the only change is the quarterback,
Yeah.
which is JJ McCarthy, who's meant to be better than Sam Darnold. So I'm saying 10 wins. I think I'll get 10.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Yeah.
I'll go over.
Then we have the Bears over under 8.5. Last year they had 5. Caleb Williams and the Bears. I said under.
Yeah, I'll go under.
I said they'll play better than last year, but they'll get no more than 8 games.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Packers, Green Bay, over under 9.5. Last year they had 11.
Same thing. I haven't really heard a whole lot about them either. They haven't really made any moves, have they?
No, I'm saying
I'll go over.
over, but a close over.
Yeah, I'll go over.
A lot of these over-unders are actually quite close. 9.5. So I'm saying over with 10.
I'd say 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would have as well.
Like, I feel like most of these are quite close.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, when they are that close, comes down to schedule.
Mm-hmm.
How tough their schedule is. But
I mean, this is something that we can revisit once the schedule does come out as well.
which comes out, I
This
think,
time.
today.
Today. Oh, well, there you go.
Comes out tonight, I think.
All right. Well, mate,
Because I remember being quite annoyed that we are doing this before it comes out.
that's all right. Next week we can do the last 2, and then we can
Yeah.
we can review it. So
But yeah, no,
go that way
because I think it's tonight. Schedule release tomorrow.
tomorrow.
10 a.m. tomorrow. Schedule release. Good timing. But we're going to move on to UFC 315.
Yeah.
JDM dethrones Bilal Muhammad.
Didn't even say dethrones. He didn't have a single defense.
Well, he was
And he was
champion.
And he wasn't the favorite. I don't know how Bilal.
He had, 17 wins in a row? Like,
Yeah.
he was the favorite.
But JDM had 18, to be fair. So, I don't know. JDM looked really good.
JDM looked amazing.
He looked really good. And now, right, I don't even really want to talk much on this fight. JDM looked good. I thought Bilal actually looked pretty good as well.
Yeah.
His game plan was it was different. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't just wrestle, but I think that was also because it was 2 from 8 from takedowns. I think if he took him down like that, it would have been a different fight.
yeah, no.
So, like, it does change when he couldn't actually take him down.
JM's biggest weakness has probably been his takedown defense, and you could see that he's been working on that a lot.
Yeah.
Bilal on those guys where, I mean, we saw it as Leon, right? He got him down and he just could do whatever he wanted. And JDM didn't even really let him get there.
Yeah, too good. He boxed his head off.
100%. He
Yeah, it was very good to watch.
looked really good.
I didn't watch it live, but I watched the replays.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very good to watch. Yeah, look, Islam's gonna obviously come up now.
I mean, he said it 20 minutes after the fight.
Yeah. Something about I'm gonna defend you now or some shit about Bilal. So I don't know, that would be a close fight because it'll depend on how good Islam looks coming up.
Yeah.
Like that different weight class, I wonder how big JDM would be in comparison.
Yeah.
But Islam's also a big lightweight.
Islam is big lightweight.
So I don't know. It could be, yeah. It'll be a close fight. I think Islam's a different beast though
Yeah, 100%.
than Bilal.
100%.
So JDM's takedown defense gonna have to get way better.
Yeah.
Even more, yeah. To
Yeah.
get to defend against Islam. But yeah, look.
Flyweight death.
Yeah.
Valentina Shevchenko.
I said she'd win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just a monster.
Yeah.
I've heard a few things about them doing a super fight between her and Zhang Weili, which I actually think would be pretty good, right?
But what's the difference in weight?
One division.
Is it only one division? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Strawweight, flyweight, okay.
and that'd be something.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like Weili is a beast.
Do they not have... Here, I thought they had... I don't know why. I thought they had a heavier division than just strawweight.
No.
Yeah, I thought they had a heavier one. Yeah,
Right.
Okay. But yeah, no, that would be a good fight. It would be good to watch because for the women as well.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see them get like a big super fight to them.
And it would be.
And it would be like a genuine super fight.
Yeah.
Like that would be good for them. But yeah, no, that'd be nice. And then Pena's bantamweight. Yeah, that'd be good.
Penya's fighting Harrison on 316.
Yeah.
And I think Harrison is gonna maul
You reckon?
her. Kayla Harrison is a monster.
Okay.
She's
Fair.
Have you seen her?
No.
No, let me show you a photo. Everyone can get your live reaction.
Actually, don't worry. Bantamweight's the biggest they have. I did the wrong way around. Strawweight's the lighter.
Look at this shit, bro. Hold on.
Yes.
Look at her.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bigger than me.
Yeah, she is.
And that's not even saying. She's 70 kilos.
She is an absolute.
I'm only 75.
Bro, like,
She'd eat me.
look at her.
Yeah, Jesus.
She is an absolute tank.
Why does she look like Paddy the Batty there? Why does she look like Paddy Pimblett just there?
She is.
Tell me she doesn't.
No, she does, bro. But look at the size of her arms, man. Like
She looks like all those Rory chicks at the gym.
she is.
Where you're like, like when you look at them, you're like, why are you actually like massive compared to me?
Yeah, she is an absolute tank, and I think she's gonna maul Juliana Pena.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, fair. I can say that now. Yeah, okay. Because Pena's like a full on. Like she was good. I mean, she's still the champion, but like,
Well, she only just got the gold.
yeah, I was about to say she's only just won it back. Yeah, that'd be sad if she got mauled.
She's gonna get. I'm telling you right now, she's gonna get annihilated.
Yeah.
315. Also, Jose Aldo and Aiden.
Yeah.
Aldo retired at the end of this one as well. I thought he looked good, but yeah, I don't know. He came back from retirement, and I think he went 1-2. Was his record? I think he got 1 win and 2 losses.
He lost his first one back, I think.
Yeah, I think.
And then he won
Got in, and then he
studies
lost this one.
I think you're right. Yeah. I'm not gonna be 100%, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I think for him to retire, I think it's a smart decision. I'd retire again.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this fight, to be honest. Like, Aldo had a few moments, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one at all, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But it's sad that he's retired. He was a very good fighter. But yeah, it's just a bit sad that he's done now.
Yeah.
Because he was coming back to try and get himself in title contention. I think losing that fight was him just going, all right, well, I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
So let's stop now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that.
Next up, we had Alexa Grasso and Natalia Silva.
I don't remember who I picked.
Natalia Silva, I think we both took Grasso because she was the champ. I remember I took Grasso because it said she fought.
I think this was the one that I said I don't actually know
Yeah.
any of them. Like I know Grasso, but I don't really know the other ladies, so I was like, I can't
Yeah.
say anything.
I mean, it was a good fight. Silva looked good. She deserved it.
Yeah, she's now number one ranked actually. Now I look at it.
Yeah.
She's gone up.
Yeah.
So that's good for her. So she'll probably, if there's no, what's it called?
Super.
Fight. She's probably next in line.
Yeah. You would think so.
Especially with Grasso losing that fight and now being the number 3, not the number 1. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. And then I was right in the next fight. Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah.
Got the win.
I think I had Benoit as well.
I don't remember, yeah.
I think I had Benoit just because the other guy was stepping up and really
Really?
knowing this. But Benoit looked good.
Yep.
He looked good.
I agree. Yeah, good fights.
Yeah.
I think it was a good weekend.
It was a good card, considering the amount of people I saw saying this card was going to be like pretty shit. And
Well, even I thought it was like an average card because you're coming off such a good card. Sometimes coming off a really good card, the next one always feels pretty shit
yeah,
because it was hard you're coming off.
it was good. Like I enjoyed it. It was good. It over exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I think part of that was the Bilal JDM fight and how good that actually was
100%.
because a lot of us were expecting a lie down.
Yeah,
So to see it actually a proper fight was like, oh, this is gone.
yeah. No, it was good. Like they both turned it on. Like they both did really well. Even like we were saying about Bilal, like even he made it entertaining with something.
Yeah, like when he couldn't take him down, he wasn't like, "Oh shoot, I'm just gonna keep shooting." He was like, "All right, I'll walk."
It was like, all right, I'll box you.
Yeah, like let's go for it and let's see what happens.
Yeah,
And he did damage.
he did.
Like they both did damage. It was a close fight in the end.
He did really well.
But yeah, no, good fight. And then looking to the future, we have fight night.
We've got a few fight nights coming up. So Dan's Morales is this weekend.
Yep,
I'm really excited for this.
that'll be a good fight.
Morales is a weapon.
Yeah, and Will Burns is just a tank.
He's a tank. Skipping that one. And then we have the 316. We have Marab and O'Malley rematch.
Yeah, look, I don't know how this is gonna go because Marab just smashed him, and Marab looks so good in that last fight.
He does.
But with the broken hip type of thing, it's like, will O'Malley actually come out and look heaps different? He's trying to got to for his legacy.
He has to. I mean, if he loses this one,
It's like,
then more. I don't want to say it's over, but you have to get a couple of really good wins.
well, look, I'll look at it now. He loses this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Petian, Uman Nurmagomedov, Corey Sandhagen, Song Yudong, and Figueiredo, and then Marlon Vera,
Yeah.
all behind. Look, I know Umar lost to Marab, but Sean will probably have to fight Umar if he loses this one.
I would say Umar or Jan, like a Jan rematch.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's actually kind of hard to think who would Marab fight after because he beat Umar and he's beaten Sean.
Next up would be Sandhagen.
Yeah,
I had to bet. Like Sandhagen.
you look it down the list a little bit more.
Yeah, he just got a win over Figueiredo, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm just looking, I'm like, oh, he's probably not fighting any of the top 3 again if he smashes Sean. Probably Sandhagen, and then you're looking at maybe a Sean Umar winner fights Marab type of thing, even though that would mean a trilogy for Sean.
Yeah, but if you do that fight and Sean beats, like, you know, maybe you do what you said, you do a Jan Umar match, and maybe you do I don't know, maybe you do a Song O'Malley fight.
Yeah.
And then
Marab and
Sandhagen. And then that way you can just you can reshuffle the standings a little bit.
Yeah.
And go
see if any of the guys down here start making a push.
Yeah.
Which you're kind of hoping for one of them to make a bit of a push.
Yeah, but there's a few guys that I think won't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Marlon Vera is going to be up there.
No.
Henry Cejudo isn't doing anything. Batista's not that good.
No.
So
maybe Zahabi.
But
the only reason I'm thinking that is because he's gone up 4 in space of not long.
But that's just because he beat out.
Yeah, but that's just because he won.
Yeah.
and he's actually just taken Aldo's spot more
Yeah.
so than anything. I don't know. I don't think they're bantamweight's alright right now, but like they're not in trouble with talent like some other.
They're very top heavy though.
Yeah,
They're very top heavy. Like you've got
like I can't see a lot of depth in the division.
no. Like if you would ask me, I would say Figueiredo wipes any of those guys, but he probably struggles. Like he does struggle against all these.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Whereas like I look to featherweight, Max Holloway, Diego Lopez, Ilya Topuria, Rodriguez, Movsar Evelev, Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen, Laron Murphy, Aljamain Sterling, Josh Emmett, Juan Silva. They're all guys.
Deep. It's very deep.
They're all guys that can win fights.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. Same as lightweight. If I went through lightweight, it would be a list.
Yeah.
You know, all the way down to, I would say, well, Paddy's at 8, Benil Dariush's at 9. They're all guys that can win fights. You got Benoit who just won. You got Chandler at 12.
Yeah.
Like, they're all guys that can win fights, and that's how far they're down. So, yeah, they're very top heavy, and they're in a little bit of a struggle bantamweight if Sean gets mauled by Marab. If he loses a close fight, they'll be okay. Because then you can do what we just said, and if he beats Song or he beats Umar or whoever, you can give him the trilogy and go, well, he nearly beat him and he didn't have a broken head.
Yeah.
But it just depends on how he loses or how he wins.
Yeah. Depends how it goes. But
that's just what I think.
yeah. Then also,
Mm.
the UFC posted this morning
Mm-hmm.
that Dana White is going live sometime this afternoon to announce the next round of fights. Considering with 34, 33 days away from 317, I think that has to be the one.
That's a fight that they should already be in camp for.
Well,
And that's where is in the Ilya one, but
because they've already announced 318 is Holloway versus Poirier.
Yeah.
And they've announced the fight night after that, which is Rob Whittaker's return.
so it should say Islam or an Ilya.
It has to be 317, right? It's just over a month away. You have no fight announcements for it. You have
They've
no
been
card.
camp for what?
3 weeks now.
2-3 weeks, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. And then that would explain why there's no fights being announced, because you can have the top 2 fights were dependent.
Yeah. Well, I found because this is what I'm calling, right? Islam has already said he's moving up, right? So I'm pulling Charles Ilya for the lightweight title.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to end up being Aspinall and Garn.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, like, I know John Jones hasn't entered the camp.
Yeah.
And Tom said a week ago that he's sick of waiting around and he just wants to get back to doing stuff. He's fought in his last fight was almost a year ago, which is insane. Tom Aspinall.
Really?
Yeah, it was almost a year ago, right? When he fought Blades.
Yeah, no, okay.
So, I mean, I feel bad for Tom that he's kind of sitting around.
Yeah, look, as I said last week, I'm annoyed. I'm a John Jones fan, but it's making me not as much of a fan of the guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, mate, retire or fight. Like you said not that long ago, I'm okay if Stipe was my last ever fight. Why didn't you retire in the ring then?
Yeah.
In the octagon? Why didn't you just call it then and everyone would have been like, look, we wanted you to fight Tom, but we kind of get it. You are old. No one would have really given you that much flack if you just said, look, this was the legacy fight. I said it back when Tom wasn't even that big, that I wanted to fight Stipe and call it. But he's just making it drag and drag and drag, and it's annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah. No, listen, I think we all know that there's some favoritism towards John Jones.
Yeah, I get the favoritism to a point.
Me too. Like, here's how I look at it, right? You stripped Poirier of the belt because you said you don't want any more double champs.
And yeah, they're going to let Islam.
And they're going to let Islam, and they're just letting Jones sit around with the belt and not do anything about it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, make it even. You're saying to Ilya, who's probably one of the best up-and-coming fighters, 100%, right?
Yeah. He's a name.
You're making him strip his title, but you're not doing it to Islam. You're not stripping Jones, even though he's not looking at booking a fight at all. You've got the interim heavyweight champ. He's just sitting around doing nothing.
Ages.
So I think, like, strip Jones, let Aspinall Garn be for the top.
So when Jones is waiting for Aspinall to lose, there's like, mate, how long are you going to wait? But he is beating the shit out of everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Like,
I think it's stupid. It's annoying me. But yeah.
I'm keen to see what this announcement is, because I feel like it's either it's gonna maybe not meet everyone's expectations, but it's gonna be solid, or I think it's gonna be really underwhelming. Right? I think everyone's gonna be like, all right, that's okay, or everyone's gonna be like, this is shit. We all thought it was gonna be this Charles Taporia and Aspinall Garn or Aspinall Jones, and instead we're getting Pantoja Piper France. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I think with all of them in camp, though, it will be in Oliveira Taporia.
I think it has to be, right? Like, they're both in camp. I haven't done anything about Aspinall being in camp, but it's not.
And that's for the interim, isn't it? Lightweight.
Well, it would have to be if they're not going to strip Islam.
That's what I mean. Like, it would be for the interim, hey.
I just don't get. I just don't need to spare, bro. Like, Dana White literally said weeks ago that he doesn't want any more double champs, and he's about to let Islam go and be a double champ.
Yeah.
But they had to strip Taporia.
Yeah. Like, I think it's a bit unfair. But you know what? Dana, do what you want, bro.
Yeah.
You do book good fights. I'll give you credit.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
But that'll wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything from us. Bit of a quicker episode than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wraps up episode 11 of the Off the Bench podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you want to see anything else, anything different. We are doing a draft lottery next week.
Yep. And that will probably take up most of the episode, because I want to go pretty in depth. I've had people say that we should go pretty in depth with it, that they actually want to hear not just who we think is going to get picked where, but why, and how we think the fitments are and all that kind of stuff.
I reckon it might be next week is a massive NBA episode.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 minutes of over-under, but probably not much UFC.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on in the UFC next week. We just kind of talked about UFC 316. So maybe if there's some big announcement, the Savo,
maybe
we can touch on that next week.
But yes, most of our episode next week will be NBA based, because we will still have to touch in on playoffs, because it will be the start of the third. It'll be conference finals by then, so we'll have to touch on it. But we'll be doing a big segment on the lottery, doing our mock draft. So tune in for that. We're going to figure out how we're going to do it. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and you follow the Instagram. More shorts are coming, more videos are coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us what you want to see. But that's going to wrap up episode 11 of the Off the Bench podcast. So we'll see you later.
Sweet.